set in. And once he got comfortable, all of that started to go away.
Them yellow flags
and all that beta stuff that you're talking about, that started to pop up. So it sounds good to say that, we have to vet and we have to search for the red flags. But if somebody is good at hiding those red flags and they're good at presenting, then we're going to fall for it because, like you said, nature versus nurture. Our nature is to say, hey, you look like somebody I can procreate with. My uterus is telling me things. So my uterus is telling me, from what I see, you have good genetics. So if we have a child together, this is what my child may have and what it may look like. If you have intelligence, which hopefully you do, that lets me know that my child will be hopefully intellectual. If you're a business savvy person, you can teach my child how to be a business savvy person. If you're good with your hands, all of these things are things that you see when you're on your first date. However, 3 months later, 6 months later, hence the 30, 60, 90, then you start to see where those faults really start to come in, because comfortability allows you, like women, us, first date, we making sure that we look like a 10. Absolutely. But after, they say it all the time, after a year, you see in this bonnet, you see in these bags, not even a year, baby. Temples, like,
I agree with you, but here's the difference that, like, so I think that there's tons of men, like I talk about though in that bracket, the betas and the simp guys, they won't make a lot of those mistakes though. Okay. Like I agree with you. If you shoot up for a certain kind of guy, you're rolling the dice. You're rolling the dice of if he's going to stay the way that he's supposed to, if he's going to be the type that's a cheater later on because maybe he's attractive and he's 6 foot or whatever it is and he's able to get girls. You're rolling the dice if you shoot above. Okay. That's why I try to say, go for the average. There's tons of these average dudes out here that are so happy to just get a girl, that are so happy to just have a woman. They will perfectly take care of y'all like you're like the queen y'all want sometimes, but they're not attractive. They might not be the height or they might not have the income. So that's the big issue. Like it's all about your choice. Like if you want to choose an average dude, I'm telling you, you would be very happy. But most women don't want the average guy. Y'all shoot for the above average guy. He ends up having options or he ends up becoming an asshole because did you try to do 50-50 with this man?
Absolutely.
More than 50-50. Well, I'll tell you exactly why everything failed then, there.
When I tell you, it started off 50-50, right? Because that's how I was raised.
What did I tell you, though?
You're a product of your environment, right? So then I had to take into consideration where he was from. I'm from New York. He was from South Carolina. So that right there's cultural differences. So then I tried to adapt to those cultural differences. I tried to become that perfect housewife, but then he wanted different things like finances. I had to make sure that my finances were good. So I went ahead and said, okay, that's what you want? You got it.
I completely understand your whole issue then.
He wanted me to cook. He wanted me to clean. He wanted me to take care of his child. He wanted me to have my finances. He wanted me
everything
to keep
you're
my
saying
body
is extremely obvious why it failed.
No, he didn't want me to be, he wanted me to be gorgeous, but not too gorgeous to where I attract other people. He didn't, everything that he wanted, he contradicted at some point.
No, see, this is I could totally hear everything coming out here. You're not seeing the big picture at all. You're so in denial over the big picture of how this really happened. What did I tell you about your parents? I told you that worked for them and that won't work now. Look what happened. You tried to make it fucking work and it failed. And you know why? Because it's not the same. It is not 20 years ago. You cannot do 50-50 with a guy today and then try to be equal and everything. It doesn't fucking work. It does not work.
That I tried to switch
she did try to adapt to
what I'm saying is, but no, you said that he still was asking for you to financially provide while doing the traditional wife stuff.
No, I initially put in 50-50.
Okay.
Then as I got to learn him more, I started realizing, all right, 50-50 is not working. So I'm going to take myself out of my social norms and I'm going to adapt to his social
And you
norms.
stopped doing 50-50.
Correct.
Okay.
Then it started turning into, okay, well, I'm going to put a little bit more into this. Okay, he's more interested in this. I'll put more into that. Okay,
what do you mean? I'm confused.
Well, that's, you weren't listening.
When did 50-50 start?
Yeah.
50-50 started at the beginning, which is ironically how I got him.
Yes. Yeah. That's a big red flag. Massive red flag. Good.
Not at all.
No. So the fact that you don't think that was red flag is the problem here. If you ever go into another relationship saying, yay, he wants to do 50-50, you fucked up. You made a big fucking mistake because that was a giant red flag.
Well, remember what I said by 50-50. That chase, you keep it even.
That is how she grew up to see.
Even.
But what I'm trying to tell y'all, just because you grew up, I saw that too. What I'm trying to say though is that's not what works though. Like, you gotta understand, we're in a whole different age. Just because you saw that doesn't mean that that's what's gonna work. Now, I'm trying to give you advice, so if you ever do this again, you don't end up with another guy who immediately brags about wanting to do 50-50 with you.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a big issue.
But again, that was what got me to him. Ended up ironically becoming a problem because, like you said, most alpha males don't want the 50-50. They want to be the provider. They want to be the hierarchy of the household.
Yes.
So I took a step back.
And then you said that something about the beauty thing. What was so? Peel back on that real quick.
So it turns into an aspect of your man always is going to want to be attracted to you. However, he also doesn't want a bunch of other men coveting his wife.
Of course. Now,
100%.
Okay, so how were you getting attention that was pissing him off?
So I work out.
Okay.
There are men out there that go to the gym that find women who work out attractive. So when you go to places where there's an abundance of something, then that person becomes like, again, I was in the army. I was in a company of 250 people. Out of 250 people, 30 of them were women. So
I need to know, like, how did he get mad or insecure about the gym thing? Like, what happened specifically?
Because I would go to the gym and I would make friends with other lifters that were men, because most of the lifters there were men.
Why are you making friends with men when you're in a relationship, a marriage at that?
I was competing.
What do you mean you were competing?
I was a powerlifter.
Like powerlifting.
Okay. But you can still not be friends with those guys. Like, you realize that, like,
create a community with those people. The same way that my ex-husband was in the military and he had females that he was around, that he became. In fact, one of my best friends, I met her through him.
Okay, if I used to play professional paintball. Okay, so whenever I played paintball, say like there's some girl teams that are just all girls. Now, say I like to go all the time, and I would go and practice, and there's all these girls teams, and I spend a lot. Maybe I start coaching one of them. Okay, and I start spending a lot of time on one of these girls teams, and my girl is like, I don't like that. Like, that kind of bothers me. I wouldn't do it. I would stop doing it immediately, and I wouldn't even be associated with that group of girls. I would go and start playing at a whole nother park if my team would do it. Because why would I sit there and try to make my girl insecure and try to sit there and think that it's okay to have a relationship like that with people? It's especially as a guy, I actually think I'm allowed to do this, because a guy who actually just has friends that are girls, he's actually going to like really control himself. Where a woman, though, yes, because a woman, because of hypergamy, it's not even, it could just be one failure and you're going to end up acting on your hypergamy.
So do you think men and women can't be
friends?
Yes.
Yeah. Men and women should not be friends if you're in a relationship. If you're married, you should not have guy friends. You should absolutely have zero guy friends if you're married.
What about
so absolutely not. It doesn't matter. You tell them I'm married now. If they don't respect that, you know how many girls I have that are my friends that are girls, and as soon as I got into a serious relationship, they understood. I'm in a serious relationship. We're not hanging out, going to the bar anymore. We're not doing this shit no more. I have a girlfriend. You gotta understand, shit ends when you get in a relationship. You have a relationship that you care about. Do you care about those friends or your fucking partner?
I care about my partner, but God dang, like these are my
Who is going to take you to the next level to where you're actually going to be a successful millionaire one day? Is it your partner or the person that you're lifting with every other week?
I'm not going to go out with my guy friends if I'm in a relationship. However, I can't in the middle of the day. It's not like it's 10 p.m. and it's a secret, but like at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and my friend says after a month of not talking, hey, how you been? And talk to me for 10 minutes on the phone.
Once again, we're going to need to go back to something. Are men and women the same?
No, I've said that.
Okay. If they're not the same, then that if you can agree with that, then you can understand that men should have certain privileges and women have certain privileges. Okay, and the privilege of having a guy
boundaries.
If y'all think
if you can make boundaries, then that's fine. If I tell my man,
and let me explain something. This is how it works. It is boundaries. My girl understands that. She can go hang out with guys. There's a boundary, though. She wants to go hang out with guy friends. The relationship's over immediately. That's all it is.